I can pinpoint the exact moment my life ended. Not when my grandmother died. Not when the debt collectors started calling. Not even when I picked up my third double shift in a row. It was 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday when I pushed through the doors of Manhattan Memorial's private wing with my vision blurring and my hands shaking so badly I could barely read my phone. Room 412. VIP patient. Vitals and wound check. Or was it 421? The numbers swam together like oil on water. I'd been awake for 31 hours. My scrubs stuck to my skin with sweat that smelled like fear and cheap coffee. My feet screamed in shoes with holes in the soles. My head pounded with the kind of exhaustion that makes you stupid, makes you careless, makes you walk into the wrong room. I should have noticed the warning signs. The leather furniture that didn't belong in a hospital. The fresh orchids in a crystal vase. The two men in $1,000 suits standing outside the door like sentries guarding a tomb. They looked at my badge. Looked at my face, dark skin, in a place that didn't see many black nurses. Looked at each other. Then let me through. That should have been my first clue that something was wrong. But I was too tired to process danger. Too numb to feel fear. Too desperate to care about anything except getting through the next 5 minutes without collapsing. So I walked in. And saw him. God, I saw him. The patient in the bed made me forget how to breathe. Beautiful. That was my first thought. And I hated myself for it. He was unconscious, had been for 8 weeks according to the chart I shouldn't have been reading. Medically induced coma following traumatic injuries. But his injuries told a different story. 3 bullet wounds. I could see the surgical scars even beneath his hospital gown, chest, abdomen, shoulder. Fresh enough that the skin was still pink and angry. And older scars too. Knife wounds that had healed white and raised. A burn across his ribs. The kind of damage you got from a life that had nothing to do with accidents. The room smelled wrong. Not like antiseptic and bleach. Like expensive cologne and something darker. Leather. Tobacco. Money. I should have left. God, I should have left right then. But the nurse in me saw the IV bag nearly empty. Saw his positioning creating pressure points. Saw his arm bent at an angle that would cause nerve damage if left too long. Medical neglect hidden behind expensive equipment. 5 minutes, I told myself. Fix what needs fixing and slip out before anyone notices. My hands moved on autopilot. Checked the monitors, all stable. All perfect. All expensive. Adjusted the IV line with practiced efficiency. Repositioned his arm gently. Feeling the muscles beneath the skin. Solid, strong, dangerous even in unconsciousness. My fingers brushed against his hand. Warm. So warm when mine were ice cold. You have better insurance than my grandmother did, I whispered. And then I broke. Maybe it was the exhaustion finally cracking me open. Maybe it was being alone at 3 a.m. with the only person in the world who couldn't judge me. Maybe it was 6 months of grief I'd been too busy to process finally forcing its way out. Whatever it was, I started talking. To him. To God. To the void that had swallowed my life whole. She died 6 months ago, I heard myself say. My voice sounded strange in the quiet room. Hollow. Empty. Pancreatic cancer. Stage 4. You know why they caught it so late? Tears were falling now. I didn't bother wiping them away. Because she couldn't afford the screening. Couldn't afford to miss work at the church. Couldn't afford to be sick. My voice cracked completely. She was a pastor, spent her whole life saving souls, but she couldn't save herself. I sank into the chair beside his bed, still holding his hand without meaning to. Needing something solid. Something real. I'm a nurse. I save people. That's what I do. 43 lives this year. Coded blues, traumas, overdoses. 43 people went home because I was good at my job. The tears were coming faster now. Hot and angry and exhausted. But I couldn't save her. The treatment she needed cost $47,000. Insurance covered $12,000. I had $3,000 in savings. I begged for payment plans, for trials, for anything. My hand tightened on his. So now I work 70 hours a week in the same hospital that killed her. I pass rooms like this private, quiet, fully covered, and I calculate how many hours of my life equal one day in a bed like yours. I was crying now. Really crying. The ugly kind. The kind that comes from somewhere so deep you didn't know you had depths left. I'm so tired, I whispered. I'm so tired of being strong, of being good, of being invisible, of saving everyone except the one person who mattered. His hand was still warm in mine, still solid, still there when everything else had crumbled. I just needed to hold on to something human, I said to his unconscious face. Just for a minute. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. His fingers twitched. I jerked back like I'd been burned. No. I'd imagined it. Exhaustion playing tricks on my mind. But then his hand moved again. Deliberately this time. His fingers curled like he was reaching for something he'd lost. Reaching for me. The monitors started changing. Heart rate increasing 60, 70, 80, blood pressure spiking, brain activity. Oh God. He was waking up. I should hit the call button. Should alert the nurses. Should do my job like the professional I was supposed to be. But my hand was frozen on the call button. My body locked in place. My breath trapped in my lungs. His eyes opened. Slowly. Struggling against 8 weeks of darkness. Unfocused at first. Pupils contracting against the soft light. Trying to make sense of a world that had disappeared. Then they found me. Locked onto my face. Gray-green. The color of a storm rolling in. The color of danger. And something shifted in those eyes. Confusion melting into recognition. Into something darker. Something that made my skin prickle with awareness. He smiled. Slow, predatory, knowing. Angelo, he whispered. His voice was rough from disuse. His accent thick Italian sliding into Russian, sliding into something older and more dangerous. Il mio angelo, my angel. I couldn't move. Couldn't speak. Couldn't do anything except stare, as he struggled to focus on my face like I was the only real thing in a world of shadows. Who? I started. His hand shot up faster than someone fresh from a coma should be able to move. Wrapped around my throat. Not squeezing, not choking, but holding, possessing, claiming. My pulse hammered against his palm. He had to feel it. Had to feel my heart trying to beat its way out of my chest. Moya, he said in Russian, his eyes burning into mine with an intensity that made my knees weak. Ona Moya. I didn't speak Russian, but I understood the tone, the certainty, the absolute conviction. Mine. She's mine. Wait. My voice came out breathless, terrified. I'm just a nurse. Wrong room. I didn't mean to. Liar. The word was soft, almost gentle. His thumb stroked my pulse point, feeling my heartbeat race against his fingers. You held my hand. Why? I didn't know you could feel it. I felt everything. His eyes held mine captive, wouldn't let me look away. Your hand, your tears, your voice, every word you said in the darkness. Horror washed through me. He'd heard everything. My breakdown, my confession, my grandmother, my debt, my exhaustion, my loneliness, everything. I need to go. I tried to pull away. His grip tightened, still not hurting, but absolutely preventing escape. You woke me, he said quietly, dangerously. Do you understand what that means? No, I don't understand any of this. Please let me go. The door burst open. 3 men flooded in, the suits from outside. Another man, older, with a scar running down his cheek and cold eyes that had seen too much death. They saw their boss awake for the first time in 8 weeks, hand wrapped around the throat of a black woman in scrubs with tears on her face. Boss, the scarred man, started in Russian-accented English, his hand going to the gun I could see beneath his jacket. You're awake. Do you need... Out. Matteo's voice was rough but commanding. Absolute. The voice of a man used to being obeyed without question. Everyone out. Except her. The men hesitated. Looked at each other. Looked at me like I was a problem they'd need to solve. I said out. Now. They left. Actually left. 3 armed men who looked like they could kill me with their bare hands. And they obeyed him without argument. The door clicked shut with a sound like a cell locking. We were alone. His hand was still on my throat. His eyes were still burning into mine. And I knew with absolute certainty that my life had just changed forever. Who sent you? He asked. Each word deliberate, measured, testing. No one. I'm a nurse. I work here. I mixed up the room numbers. Liar. But he said it almost fondly. His thumb brushed my jawline. Your heart is racing. Fear or desire, Angelo? Fear, I said. Definitely fear. Liar, he said again, and smiled. That dark, knowing smile that said he could see right through me, right through every defense I'd ever built. Then his eyes rolled back. His hand went slack. He collapsed back onto the pillow. The monitors flatlined. No. Training overrode panic. I hit the code button with one hand while starting chest compressions with the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please. The code team flooded in. Nurses. Residents. Dr. Harrison, the attending physician who looked like he never slept. What happened? Someone demanded. He woke up. My voice sounded steadier than I felt. We were talking. Then he arrested. I kept doing compressions. Hard. Fast. Exactly like I'd been trained. 30 compressions. 2 breaths from the respiratory therapist. 30 more. 2 more. Charge to 200, Dr. Harrison ordered. The defibrillator whined as it powered up. Clear! I jumped back. The shock arced through his body, making his back arch off the bed. The monitor stayed flat. Again. 300. Clear. Another shock. Another awful arch. Nothing. Come on, I whispered. Come on, you stubborn bastard. You don't get to wake up and claim me and then die. That's not how this works. Resume compressions, Harrison ordered. I was back on his chest, feeling ribs flex beneath my palms, counting in my head, praying with words I hadn't used since my grandmother died. Please, please. I know I don't deserve favors. I know I haven't prayed in months, but please don't let him die. Charge to 360. This is the last one. Clear. The shock hit. For a second, nothing. Then, beep, beep, beep. Sinus rhythm. Weak but steady. He was back. I stepped away on shaking legs, my hands trembling, my scrubs soaked with sweat. Dr. Harrison was already barking orders. Get him stable. I want a full workup. And someone tell me what the hell happened. Then he turned to me. Nurse Wills. A word. My stomach dropped. Head nurse Chen appeared in the doorway. She was 50, efficient, with a face that never showed emotion. Dr. Harrison, I need to speak with Nurse Wills as well. This was bad. They escorted me to a conference room. Just the 2 of them. No witnesses, no backup. Sit, Chen said. I sat. What were you doing in room 412? Her voice was ice. My mind raced. Tell the truth? Lie? I was too tired to construct a good lie. I thought it was 421. I was assigned to check vitals on a patient in 421. I mixed up the numbers. You mixed up the numbers. She pulled up something on her tablet. You've been working here for 6 years. You've never mixed up room numbers before. I've never been awake for 31 hours before. Dr. Harrison's expression softened slightly. Pamela, you're one of our best nurses. But this is serious. That patient in 412 is complicated. Complicated how? That's not your concern. Chen's voice stayed cold. What is your concern is that you entered a restricted room without authorization. You were alone with a VIP patient for 13 minutes. During that time, he woke from an 8-week coma and then arrested. 13 minutes. I'd been in there 13 minutes. It had felt like seconds. I didn't do anything wrong, I said. I checked his vitals, adjusted his IV, positioned him correctly. That's all. You were crying, doctor. Harrison's voice was gentle. Security footage shows you crying. Holding his hand, talking to him. For 11 of those 13 minutes, they had footage. Of course they had footage. What were you saying to him? Chen demanded. I couldn't tell them. Couldn't admit I'd had a complete breakdown next to a patient. That I'd confessed everything to an unconscious stranger. I was just... Nurses talk to unconscious patients sometimes. It's normal. For 11 minutes, I lost track of time. The door opened. The scarred man from earlier entered. Behind him, another man, younger, with bleached hair and cold eyes. They weren't hospital security. Thank you, Dr. Harrison, Nurse Chen, the scarred man said in that Russian accent. We'll take it from here. Chen stood. This is a hospital matter. Not anymore. He slid a folder across the table to Harrison. Mr. Santoro's legal team has been very clear about jurisdiction. This is our concern now. Harrison opened the folder. Whatever he saw made his face go pale. I see. Of course. Pamela, these gentlemen will be handling the investigation. What? No. I want hospital representation. That won't be necessary, the scarred man said. His smile didn't reach his eyes. We just want to talk. Harrison and Chen left. Actually left me alone with these men who looked like they buried bodies for a living. The scarred man sat across from me. My name is Victor. This is Alexei. We represent Mr. Santoro's interests. I didn't do anything wrong. We know. Victor pulled out a tablet. Pulled up security footage. Me entering the room. Checking vitals. Starting to cry. Sitting down. holding Matteo's hand while I talked. "What were you saying to him?" Victor asked again. "Nothing important." "You cried for 11 minutes about nothing important?" "I was having a bad day." "Miss Wills." Victor leaned forward. "I'm going to ask you one time, and I need you to be very, very honest with me. Who sent you into that room?" Ice flooded my veins. "No one sent me. It was a mistake. Because if someone sent you to finish what they started 8 weeks ago, I need to know now. Finish what you think I tried to kill him? Did you?" "No, I'm a nurse. I saved his life." Alexei spoke for the first time. "After you stopped his heart." "I didn't. He arrested on his own. I brought him back." Victor studied me for a long moment, then pulled up more footage, me doing compressions, my face desperate, my lips moving in what was clearly prayer. "You prayed for him," Victor said quietly. "While you were saving him. You prayed." "Ah, yes. What did you pray?" The question caught me off guard. "What? What did you pray for? That he would live, or that he would die?" Tears pricked my eyes. "I prayed for him to live. I didn't want him to die." "Why?" "Because," my voice broke, "because no one deserves to wake up just to die. Because he looked at me like I was real, like I mattered, and nobody's looked at me like that in so long I'd forgotten what it felt like." Silence filled the room. Then Victor did something I didn't expect. He smiled. "We believe you. However," Victor continued, standing, "there are complications." The door opened again. A man in an expensive suit entered. Not hospital administration, not security. This was someone who made other people nervous just by existing. "Miss Wills, I'm Richard Walsh. I represent the hospital's legal interests." He sat down without asking. Slid papers across the table. "We need to discuss your unauthorized access to room 412. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely read the documents. Non-disclosure agreement. Severance package. Termination notice. You're firing me. We're offering you a choice," Walsh said smoothly. "Sign the NDA. You agree never to discuss Mr. Santoro's medical condition, treatment, or anything you observed. In exchange, the investigation into your error goes away. You keep your license. You walk away clean. And if I don't sign, then we proceed with a full investigation. Unauthorized room access, patient privacy violation, potential malpractice. Your license goes before the board, and even if you're cleared, which is unlikely, your career is over. No hospital will hire a nurse who violated HIPAA." He was right. Even the accusation would destroy me. "What about my job here?" Walsh's expression didn't change. "That's the severance package. 3 months salary, references, a clean exit. 3 months salary wouldn't even cover 1 month of my debt payments." Victor cleared his throat. "Actually, there's been a development." Walsh looked at him sharply. "What development?" "Mr. Santoro has requested something additional." My heart hammered. "What?" "He wants you as his private nurse. During his recovery." The room went silent. "That's not possible," Walsh said immediately. "She's being terminated. She's being offered a choice," Victor corrected. "And Mr. Santoro is offering a different choice. Private duty, 1-year contract, exclusive care for him alone." "I have other patients," I said weakly. "You'll be reassigned. Private duty pays significantly more than floor nursing." "How much more?" Victor slid another document across. This one had a number that made my vision blur. $200,000. For 1 year. That was more than I made in 3 years of killing myself at this hospital. "Why me?" I whispered. "Because you were the first face he saw when he woke up," Victor said simply. "The first voice he heard. In our world, that creates a bond." "Your world?" "Mr. Santoro's world." Victor's eyes held mine. "He's a complicated man with complicated business interests. He requires discretion, loyalty, and he's decided he trusts you. He doesn't even know me. He knows you held his hand when he was dying. He knows you cried for him. He knows you prayed for him to live." Victor leaned forward. "And he knows you had every opportunity to let him die, and instead you saved him. Twice. That's all he needs to know." Walsh was already protesting. "This is highly irregular, and highly profitable for the hospital," Victor said coldly. "Mr. Santoro is willing to make a substantial donation, say, $500,000, to ensure the best care during his recovery." Walsh's objections died instantly. "Miss Wills," Victor said, "you have 2 choices. Sign the NDA, take the severance, leave with your license intact but no job. Or sign the employment contract, work for Mr. Santoro for 1 year, and walk away with $200,000 and a reference that will get you hired anywhere. It wasn't really a choice. I thought about my grandmother's debt, about Darius's tuition, about working 70 hours a week just to stay barely above water, about being so tired I couldn't see straight, about being invisible. And I thought about the way Matteo had looked at me when he woke up, like I was the only real thing in a world of shadows. What exactly would this job entail? I asked. Standard private duty nursing, monitoring his recovery, physical therapy, medication management. You'd live on site at his estate for the duration. Live there for your safety and convenience. He requires 24-hour care during recovery. And after the year, you're free to go. With a reference letter and $200,000 in your account, I should ask more questions. Should get a lawyer. Should think this through. But my hands were already reaching for the pen. Where do I sign? Victor smiled as I signed my name on 3 different documents. Excellent. We'll arrange transport to the estate this evening. Pack for a month. Everything else you need will be provided. Wait tonight? Mr. Santoro is being transferred to private care in 3 hours. He's requested you accompany him, but I need to tell my brother. You can call him from the car. Victor stood. Welcome to Mr. Santoro's employ, Miss Wills. I hope you survive it. He left before I could ask what he meant. I sat alone in the conference room, staring at the contracts I'd just signed, my hands still shaking. What had I just done? My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the text. Thank you for saving my life, Angelo. Twice. Now it's my turn to save yours. I'll see you soon. M. How did he have my number? How did he know I'd signed? And why did reading his words make my heart race and my skin flush with heat that had nothing to do with fear? I was so screwed. The SUV that picked me up from my apartment wasn't just expensive. It was armored. I could tell by the way the doors thunked shut, by the thickness of the glass. By the way, Victor sat in the front seat with his hand never far from his jacket where I knew a gun was hiding. You're scaring me, I said from the back seat, my duffel bag clutched in my lap like a shield. Good. Fear keeps you smart. Victor glanced at me in the rearview mirror. There's something you need to understand about Mr. Santoro. He has enemies, people who want him dead. They've already tried once. The shooting, 3 bullets. Any one of them should have killed him, but he's stubborn. A pause. And now those same people know about you. My stomach dropped. How would they know about me? Because someone planted a camera in your apartment. We found it this morning when we swept the place. I thought I might be sick. Someone was watching me? For at least 2 weeks. Which means they know you're important to him now. Victor's eyes stayed on the road as we crossed into Westchester. That makes you a target. The estate appeared through the trees like something from a movie. 20-foot stone walls. Armed guards at the gate. The kind of security that said what goes in doesn't come out unless permitted. Home sweet home, Victor said without humor. The house itself was beautiful in a cold, intimidating way. All glass and stone and sharp angles. Like it was built to repel invasion, not welcome guests. Anya met me at the door. Older, stern, with eyes that assessed me in 3 seconds and found me wanting. She said something in Russian, Victor responded. She snorted. What did she say? I asked. She said you're too pretty to last long here, that you'll either run or die within a month. That's cheerful. Anya doesn't believe in false hope. Victor gestured down a marble hallway. Your room is connected to Mr. Santoro's. He's resting now, but he'll want to see you when he wakes. My room was 3 times the size of my apartment. King bed with silk sheets. Bathroom with a tub I could swim in. Walk-in closet already stocked with clothes in exactly my size. On the bed, a note in sharp handwriting. Everything you need is here. The connecting door stays unlocked. Always. Rest. You'll need your strength. M. I tried the connecting door. Unlocked. Of course it was. I could see into his room. See him in the bed, still weak from the hospital, sleeping fitfully. Even in sleep, his face was hard. Dangerous. The face of a man who'd seen too much violence and committed more. I should have been terrified. Instead, I stood there watching him breathe, my heart doing things it shouldn't, my body remembering the feel of his hand on my throat. Enjoying the view, Angelo? I jumped. His eyes were open, watching me watch him. I was just checking on you. Medical monitoring. Liar. But he smiled. That dark, knowing smile. Come here. You should rest. I said come here. Not a request. I crossed through the connecting door on shaking legs. He was sitting up now, shirtless. and God help me, I couldn't stop staring. His chest was lean muscle and scar tissue. Bullet wounds still healing. Old knife scars, burns, a roadmap of violence written on skin that somehow made him more beautiful instead of less. "See something you like?" he asked, echoing words from a life ago. "I'm your nurse. I'm assessing your injuries. You're assessing more than my injuries." His hand caught my wrist, pulled me closer until I was standing between his legs. "Your pulse is racing. Fear or desire, Angelo?" "I told you. Fear. And I told you. Liar." His other hand came up to cup my face. "I heard everything you said that night. About your grandmother. Your debt. Your exhaustion. Your loneliness." Shame flooded through me. "I thought you were unconscious." "I was, mostly. But I heard your voice like a lifeline in the darkness. Felt your hand holding mine. Knew if I could just get to you, I could wake up." His thumb brushed my cheekbone. "You saved me, Angelo. Now I'm going to save you." "I don't need saving. You're drowning. Working yourself to death. Invisible to everyone." His eyes held mine. "But I see you. I see how strong you are. How brave. How beautiful. And I'm never letting you go. You don't own me, don't I?" He pulled me even closer. "You signed the contract. You're living in my house. You're wearing clothes I bought you. You came when I called." His voice dropped. "And you're still standing here when you could have run. That tells me everything I need to know. I should pull away. Should remind him about boundaries and professionalism and all the reasons this was wrong. But his hand was warm on my face and I was so tired of being cold and alone. "Rules," he said softly. "Since you're staying." I didn't say. "You're still here." That's answer enough. His fingers traced my jaw. "Rule 1. The connecting door stays unlocked. I need to know I can get to you." "Why?" "Because I spent 8 weeks in darkness, and you were my only light. I'm not going back to that darkness. Ever." Something in his voice made my throat tight. "Rule 2. You don't leave the estate without security. You're a target now. My enemies will use you to hurt me. I'm not a prisoner. You're protected. There's a difference." His grip tightened slightly. "Rule 3. You tell me the truth. Always. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. And you'll do the same?" "Yes. Even if the truth is that I'm a monster and you should run." "Are you? A monster?" He smiled, but there was no humor in it. "Yes. The worst kind. I've killed 37 people, Angelo. Maybe more. I've done things that would make you pray for my soul if you knew. I should be horrified. Should be running. Why are you telling me this?" "Because you deserve honesty. Because I won't lie to you and pretend I'm something I'm not." His eyes burned into mine. "I'm violent, dangerous, possessive. I don't share what's mine, and I don't let go. Ever. And if you stay here, you become mine in every way that matters. I'm here for a year, that's all. We'll see." He pulled me down until our faces were inches apart. "Last rule, the most important one." "What?" "Don't fall in love with me, Angelo. I'll only destroy you." Then he released me and lay back down like nothing had happened. Dismissed. I fled to my room, locked the door, then unlocked it because he'd asked me not to. That night I knelt beside my bed for the first time in months. God, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who I'm becoming. This man is dangerous. He's killed people. He owns me now in ways I don't understand. My voice broke. So why do I feel safer with him than I have in years? Why does his darkness feel like home? Silence. Always silence. I climbed into bed and didn't sleep. Just listened to him breathe through the open door and wondered what I'd gotten myself into. Too late, I realized. I was already falling. I woke to screaming at 2 a.m. Not mine. His. I was through the connecting door before I was fully conscious, every nurse instinct firing. His room was dark except moonlight. He thrashed in the bed, fighting invisible enemies, his face twisted in pain and terror I'd never seen when he was awake. "Matteo." I touched his shoulder. "Wake up." His hand shot out and grabbed my throat. Not gently this time. Choking. I didn't scream. Didn't fight. Just put my hands on his face. "Matteo. It's Pamela. You're home. You're safe. Wake up." His eyes snapped open. Wild. Dangerous. Unfocused. Then they found my face. He released me instantly. Horror replacing violence. "Angelo, God, did I hurt you?" My throat ached, but I shook my head. "I'm fine. Let me see." He turned on the light, examined my neck with shaking hands. Red marks were already forming. "I put my hands on you. I could have killed you. You were having a nightmare. That's no excuse. He sat on the edge of the bed, head in his hands. You should go. Lock the door. Don't come in here again. What was the nightmare about? It doesn't matter. Tell me. He looked up and I saw him vulnerable for the first time. Truly vulnerable. The shooting. I dream about it every night. Even in the coma, I dreamed about it. His voice was hollow. 3 guns. 5 men. My own people. And I couldn't move fast enough. Couldn't fight back. Just felt the bullets tear through me and knew I was dying. I sat beside him. But you didn't die. Only because you woke me up. His hand found mine. In the dream, I'm trapped in darkness. Can't move. Can't breathe. Drowning. And then I hear your voice. Feel your hand. And I know if I can just get to you, I can wake up. I'm here, I said softly. He looked at me with those storm-colored eyes. Stay. Tonight. Just sleep. I need to know you're real. I should say no. Should maintain boundaries. But he'd just had a nightmare about dying, and I knew about loss and fear and desperately needing something real to hold on to. Okay. We lay down. Me on top of the covers. Him under them. Safe distance between us. For about 5 minutes. Then he pulled me against his chest. Arms wrapping around me like I was the only thing keeping him anchored to earth. Thank you, he whispered into my hair. For what? For staying. For not running. For being here when the darkness comes. I should pull away. Should remind him this was temporary, professional, bounded by a contract that would end. But his heartbeat was steady under my ear, and I felt safer than I had in months, and I was so tired of being alone. So I stayed. The alarm woke us both at dawn. Not a clock. The estate's security system. Someone had breached the perimeter. Matteo was out of bed instantly, grabbing a gun from under his pillow I hadn't known was there. Stay here, he ordered. What's happening? They're coming for me. Or for you. Doesn't matter. He was already moving toward the door. Victor. Victor appeared, also armed. Boss. 3 vehicles, 12 men. Same MO as the hospital hit. Get her to the safe room. I'm not leaving you. Matteo turned, grabbed my face with both hands. This is not negotiable. They want to kill me. But if they get to you first, they'll use you to destroy me slowly. I won't let that happen. Go with Victor. Now, gunshots erupted somewhere in the house. Victor pulled me toward a hidden door I'd never noticed. No. I tried to wrench free. He's still recovering, he could die. He'll die faster worrying about you. Move. The safe room was reinforced steel. Victor shoved me inside. Don't open this door for anyone but me or the boss. Understand? The door sealed shut. I was alone in the darkness, listening to gunfire and shouting and my own heartbeat thundering in my ears. Please don't let him die. Please. I just found him. I can't lose him already. 20 minutes that felt like hours. Then silence. The door opened. Matteo stood there, covered in blood, eyes wild, gun still in his hand. Our eyes met. He crossed the room in 3 strides and kissed me. Hard, desperate, claiming. I kissed him back because I'd thought he was dead and he wasn't, and I was so grateful I couldn't breathe. When he pulled away, we were both shaking. Mine, he said against my lips. You're mine, and I'm never letting you go. Yours, I agreed. Because it was true. Somewhere between the wrong room and this moment, I'd become his. The men who attacked? Dead. All of them. No emotion in his voice. But there's a problem. What? One of them had this. He showed me a photo. Of me. Leaving my apartment. 3 days ago. Someone had been following me. Watching me. Planning. We need to find out who sent them, Matteo said. Before they try again. That's when Anya appeared in the doorway, clutching her chest. Blood spreading across her shirt. She'd been shot. And I was the only one who could save her. I ran to Anya before Matteo could stop me. Gunshot. Right chest. Possible lung involvement. My training took over. Get me to your medical supplies. Now, Angelo, we should call. There's no time. I was already assessing the wound. Through and through. Missed the heart but collapsed the lung. She has maybe 10 minutes before she drowns in her own blood. Where's your medical bay? Victor appeared. This way. The medical facility was better equipped than some hospitals I'd worked in. Trauma supplies, surgical equipment, everything you'd need to patch up injuries you couldn't explain to authorities. Help me get her on the table, I ordered. Victor, scrub in. I need an extra pair of hands. I'm not a nurse. I don't care. Glove up and do exactly what I say. My hands moved on autopilot. Cut away her shirt. Assessed the damage. Sterilized. Local anesthetic. Incision. Chest tube insertion. Blood and air hissed out. Anya's breathing eased. Good. That's good. I was covered in her blood, but she was stable. She needs a hospital. Can't risk it, Matteo said from the doorway. Too many questions. Then she stays here. I'll monitor her. But if she crashes again, you'll save her. Like you saved me. Anya said something in Russian. Matteo answered. She looked at me with new eyes. Respect, maybe. Or surprise that I hadn't run yet. What did she say? She said she was wrong about you. That you might survive here after all. 4 hours later, Anya was stable, sleeping. I'd done everything I could. I found Matteo in his study, staring at surveillance footage, looking for who shot her, looking for who ordered it. He replayed the attack. Freeze frame on one attacker's face. This man. I recognized the tattoo. Volkov's crew. Who's Volkov? Konstantin Volkov, Russian Bratva. He wants the alliance between Russian and Italian families to fail. If I die, there's war. If I'm weakened, there's opportunity. And I make you weak. You make me human. In my world, that's the same thing. He pulled me into his lap. I'm sorry you had to see that. The violence, the blood. I work in an ER. I've seen violence. Not like this. Not people trying to kill the man you dot. He stopped. The man you work for. Is that what I am? An employee? You know you're more than that. His hands framed my face. I told you not to fall in love with me. Are you following that rule? I should lie. Should protect myself. No, I'm not. His eyes closed like I'd given him absolution and damnation in one word. Good. Because I'm not following it either. You love me? Terrifyingly. Completely. In ways that should scare you. He opened his eyes. I've killed for you already. I'll kill again. Anyone who threatens you becomes a target. Do you understand what that means? It means you're dangerous. It means I'm yours. As much as you're mine. He kissed me gently. And it means we need to end this before Volkov tries again. How? By finding out who told him about you. Someone in my organization is feeding him information. His jaw tightened. Someone I trust betrayed me. Who do you suspect? Everyone. Until I have proof. I trust no one. He looked at me. Except you. Why me? Because you had every opportunity to let me die and instead you saved me. Because you're not afraid to tell me I'm wrong. Because you're here when anyone sane would have run. He pulled me closer. Because I love you, and love makes you stupid and reckless, and willing to trust when you shouldn't. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I opened the text, and my blood turned to ice. A photo. Of Darius. Leaving his dorm at NYU. And a message. Nice brother. Would be a shame if something happened to him. Matteo saw my face. What? I showed him. His expression went cold. Lethal. They're escalating. Using your brother as leverage. We need to get him somewhere safe. We will. Victor. He was already moving. Get the brother. Now. Full security detail. Bring him here. On it. I was shaking. If they hurt him because of me. They won't. I won't let them. Matteo pulled me into his arms. I protect what's mine. And he's yours, which makes him mine too. That night, Darius arrived with 4 of Matteo's men. Confused, scared, angry. Pamela, what the hell is going on? I told him everything. The wrong room, the contract, the attacks. Matteo. He stared at me like I'd grown a second head. You're dating a mob boss. I'm in love with a mob boss. There's a difference. No, there isn't. He looked at Matteo. And you? You think you can just what? Keep her? Use her? I think I'd die for her, Matteo said simply. And I think you're her family, which means you're under my protection now, whether you like it or not. Darius looked between us, saw something in my face. You really love him. I really do. Even though he's dangerous? Maybe because he's dangerous. Maybe because he makes me feel alive for the first time in years. I took his hand. I know it's crazy. I know it makes no sense. But he's mine, Darius. And I'm not walking away. My brother sighed. Then I'm staying. Someone needs to make sure you don't get killed. That night, as I lay in Matteo's arms, my phone buzzed again. Another unknown number. You took something from me. Now I take something from you. 24 hours to deliver the girl. or the brother dies slowly. Volkov. A video attached. Showed a warehouse. A chair. Implications of what would happen there. Matteo saw it. His arms tightened around me. No, absolutely not. You're not trading yourself for... He's my brother. And you're my heart. I'm not losing you. His voice was steel. We're not making the trade. We're making them wish they'd never touched what's mine. How? His smile was cold and cruel. By doing what I do best. Waging war. The plan was insane. I would go to the exchange point. Wired. Watched by snipers. Surrounded by Matteo's men positioned in places Volkov's people wouldn't expect. The moment we confirmed Darius was alive, we'd move. And if something goes wrong? I asked, checking the wire hidden under my shirt. Then I kill everyone in that warehouse and carry you out over their bodies. Matteo said it so calmly, like it was just a fact. We were in the war room. Maps. Weapons. Men who looked like they'd killed before and would kill again. You don't have to do this, Matteo said quietly, pulling me aside. I can find another way. There is no other way. Not in time. I touched his face. I trust you. You shouldn't. I'm leading you into danger. You're leading me toward my brother. That's all that matters. I kissed him, poured everything I felt into it. If something happens, it won't. But if it does, I need you to know I don't regret it. Any of it. Walking into that room, meeting you, falling in love with you. My voice broke. You woke me up too, Matteo. Not just from sleep, from the half-life I was living. His eyes closed. I love you, Angelo, more than I've ever loved anything. If they hurt you, they won't. You'll stop them. I smiled. You're very good at stopping people. The warehouse in Red Hook smelled like rust and death. I walked in alone, hands zip-tied loosely in front of me, wearing the wire, knowing Matteo was somewhere in the darkness with a rifle. Lights flicked on, blinding. When my eyes adjusted, I saw them. 6 men, all armed. And Darius, tied to a chair, bruised but alive. Pamela, his voice cracked. What are you doing here? Getting you out. A man stepped forward, tall, scarred jaw, cold eyes. Konstantin Volkov. Touching. The little nurse sacrifices herself for family. His English was good. Where's Santoro? He's not coming. Just me. Like you asked. You think I'm stupid? He pressed a gun to Darius's head. Where is he? I don't know. He sent me alone. He said you could have me if it meant getting Darius back safely. It was a good lie. Desperate. Convincing. Volkov didn't buy it. Search her. Rough hands found the wire in seconds. Well, the angel has teeth. Volkov ripped it away. Tell Santoro I send my regards. He aimed at me. No, Darius screamed. The gunshot was deafening, but I wasn't hit. Volkov's head exploded. No warning. Just alive, then dead. Then hell broke loose. Matteo's men poured in from every entrance. Gunfire everywhere. I dropped, crawled toward Darius. Stay down, I screamed. I reached him, sawed through his zip ties with the blade Victor had hidden in my sleeve. Who are these people? Darius gasped. Ours. Can you walk? I think. An explosion rocked the building. Grenade. Angelo. Matteo's voice through the chaos. Where are you? Here. I have Darius. He appeared through smoke like an avenging angel, covered in blood, eyes wild, gun in each hand. Get them out, he ordered Victor. Now. Victor grabbed us both, hauled us toward an exit. I looked back once, saw Matteo standing in the center of carnage, still fighting, still protecting what was his. We made it outside. That's when I saw the second vehicle pull up, more of Volkov's men, all pointing guns at us. Victor raised his weapon. We were outnumbered 6-1. I put myself between the guns and Darius. Then the night exploded again. 3 black SUVs roaring into the lot, surrounding Volkov's men. An older man stepped out. Silver hair, expensive coat, the presence of someone who commanded empires. I believe you gentlemen are on the wrong side, he said calmly. Italian accent, New York born. I am Antonio Rossi, and this woman is under my family's protection. Leave now or join Volkov in hell. They ran. Rossi approached me. You must be Pamela. The angel. Matteo has told me about you. He has? Extensively. I don't think I've heard him talk about anything else for days. He looked at Darius. Your brother? I nodded, speechless. Get them to safety. I'll handle cleanup. He paused. He loves you, you know. Really loves you. And I've known Matteo since he was 14. I've never seen him care about anyone the way he cares about you. Don't break his heart. It's the only thing about him that's still human. Back at the estate, Darius exploded. What the fuck, Pamela? Russian mobsters. Shootouts. Italian crime bosses. I can explain. Explain? I was kidnapped because of you. I told him everything. About the contract, the attacks, Matteo's enemies, about falling in love despite knowing I shouldn't. This is insane, Darius said. But his anger was fading. You really love him? More than I've ever loved anyone. And he treats you well? He'd die for me. Darius was quiet. Then, does he make you happy? I thought about it. Really thought. 3 weeks ago I was drowning. Now I was in danger but alive. Terrified but loved. In over my head but finally swimming. Yeah, he does. Then I trust your judgment. But if he hurts you, I'm calling the cops. Mob connections or not. Matteo came home 2 hours later, still covered in blood, still holding that gun. I threw myself into his arms. He caught me, held me so tight I couldn't breathe. You're okay, I whispered. You're okay. I promised I'd come back. He pulled back to look at me. Are you hurt? No. Darius? Inside with Anya. She's fussing over him. Good. His hands framed my face. I was terrified. When those men surrounded you, Rossi showed up. I called him the moment I knew it was an ambush. I wasn't taking chances with your life. He kissed me desperately. God, I love you. I love you so much it scares me. I love you too. Good. Because in 3 days, someone's coming to meet you. His jaw tightened. Isabella Rossi, Antonio's daughter. And 3 months ago, our families arranged a marriage. Between me and her, my world tilted. What? It was political. I never agreed to it. But your families expected it. Expected. Past tense. I'm choosing you. His eyes held mine. But Isabella is back from Milan, and she's very interested in meeting the woman who took her place. Isabella Rossi arrived like a conquering queen. Designer everything. Perfect hair. Beauty that made you feel inadequate just by existing in the same room. She swept in with bodyguards and a smile that promised murder. Matteo, darling. She kissed both his cheeks. European style. Possessive. You look well. Much better than unconscious. Isabella. His voice was ice. I didn't know you were back. Father called me home. Said there was a situation requiring my attention. Her eyes slid to me. This must be the nurse. How quaint. I stood my ground. Pamela Wills. Yes. I've heard so much. The woman who woke Matteo with a kiss. Like a fairy tale. Her smile was venom. How romantic. Isabella, Matteo warned. Oh, relax, darling. I'm just getting to know her. She circled me slowly, predator assessing prey. You're very different from the women Matteo usually associates with. I'm not associating with him. I'm in love with him. Yes, I can see it. You wear your heart on your sleeve. She turned to Matteo. We need to talk. About our engagement. There is no engagement. Our families still expect it. Your dalliance doesn't change centuries of tradition. This is not a dalliance, and I make my own choices. Do you? Because from where I'm standing, you're breaking a treaty. Our families have been allies for 3 generations. This marriage was supposed to cement that. Without it. She let the threat hang. I'd had enough. Get out. Isabella turned, eyebrows raised. Excuse me? You heard me. Get out of this house. This isn't your house, dear. It's his. And soon, if things go as planned, it'll be mine. Over my dead body. Isabella's smile went nuclear. That can be arranged. Matteo stepped between us. Leave, now. Before I forget, our families are allies. You're choosing her over me? Over your family's interests? I'm choosing her over everything. Always. Something flickered in Isabella's eyes. Hurt. Rage. You'll regret this. When my father withdraws support. When the alliance crumbles. When you're fighting a war on 2 fronts. You'll wish you'd chosen differently. She left like a storm departing. That went well, I said. She'll retaliate. Matteo pulled me close. Isabella doesn't lose gracefully. He was right. 3 hours later, Antonio Rossi summoned Matteo to a meeting. This is about me, I said. Let me come. No. This is business. Dangerous business. I'm the reason for the meeting, Which is why you're staying where I know you're safe. He kissed me. Promise me. Stay here. Don't leave the estate. I promised. He left. 90 minutes later, Victor's phone rang. His expression went dark. What? I demanded. Rossi wants proof that you're worth breaking the engagement over. What kind of proof? A dinner. Tomorrow night. Both families. Bratva and Cosa Nostra. You'll be tested. Judged. If you survive with grace, maybe we have a chance. If you crack, he shrugged. No pressure then. None at all. Anya became my unlikely ally. If you're surviving dinner with vultures, you need armor. She pulled out a blood-red dress. And you need to know the rules. Don't speak unless spoken to. Don't argue with the men. Don't show weakness. Don't let Isabella see she gets to you. That's depressing. That's reality. She held up the dress. Red for courage, for passion, for blood. It fit perfectly. Anya handed me a box. From Mr. Santoro. Inside, diamonds and rubies and an intricate necklace. The note. Wear this tomorrow. Let them see you belong to me. M. Will it work? I asked. Depends on how strong you are. Anya met my eyes. They'll try to destroy you. With words. With looks. With cruelties designed to make you feel worthless. Can you handle that? I thought about the last 6 months. Working 3 jobs. Failing to save my grandmother. Being invisible. I've survived worse. Anya smiled. Good. Then you might make it through dinner. That night, Matteo came home exhausted. How bad? I asked. Bad? Rossi is furious. Isabella is spreading poison. Half my Italian allies are questioning my judgment. I examined his ribs. Bruises blooming. Who did this? Rossi's men. Making a point about disrespect. He caught my hands. About tomorrow. I know. I'm ready. They'll try to break you. I can handle it. I don't deserve you, he whispered. Probably not. But you have me anyway. Forever. Forever. He kissed me then. Desperate. Tender. Full of things we hadn't said. When we fell into bed, it wasn't just sex. It was a promise. A vow. Afterward, he whispered, I have something to tell you. About the shooting. I tensed. Okay. It wasn't random. I was meeting someone. Someone I trusted. And they brought Volkov's men instead. Who? I don't know yet, but whoever it was is still here. In my organization. Still planning. Ice flooded my veins. You have a traitor. Yes. And tomorrow night at dinner, they'll be there. Next morning, I found a note under my door. Enjoy the dinner, nurse. It will be your last. A friend. The Rossi estate made Matteo's fortress look modest. Marble, gold, art worth millions. Old money screaming from every surface. And people. 60 people watching me walk in on Matteo's arm like they wanted to see me break. Antonio Rossi stood at the head of the table. Matteo. And Pamela. Welcome. Thank you for having me, I said. My voice didn't shake. Victory. Let's hope you still feel welcome by the end. His smile was cold. Please. Sit. They'd arranged it deliberately. Me between Isabella and a Russian woman who looked like she ate kittens for breakfast. Matteo was across the table. Close enough to see. Too far to protect. I was alone. So, Pamela, Isabella said sweetly. Tell us about yourself. All conversation stopped. Everyone watching. I'm a nurse. I've worked at Manhattan Memorial for 6 years. How noble, the Russian woman said. Thick accent. Saving lives. Very different from this world where we take them. Someone has to balance the scales, I said. A few chuckles. Maybe I hadn't failed yet. And your family? Rossi asked. This was the test. My bloodline. My worth. My parents died when I was 7. Car accident. My grandmother raised me. She was a pastor. She died 6 months ago. I'm sorry for your loss. Rossi sounded sincere. But that leaves you rather alone. No family connections. No protection. She has me, Matteo said quietly. For now, Isabella interjected. But Matteo's protection is notoriously temporary. Silence. Isabella, Rossi warned. I'm just stating facts, father. Everyone knows Matteo's history. The women before. Where are they now? She wanted me to react, to show jealousy, to prove I was weak. I smiled instead. I don't know where they are. I only know where I am. Here, with him. And that's all that matters. Bold words, the Russian woman said. Let's see if you can back them up. They brought out wild boar. And a knife. In our families, we have a tradition, Rossi said. When a woman joins our world, she must prove she can handle it. Carve the boar, Pamela. The real test. I stood, picked up the knife. Everyone watching. I'd never carved anything this large. But I was a nurse. I knew anatomy. I made the first cut. Clean, precise. Found the joint, separated it. Blood welled up. I didn't flinch. Carved piece by piece, plated portions, served them. When I finished, my hands were covered in blood. I looked at Rossi. Sufficient? He smiled. Actually smiled. Steady hands. Good. You'll need them. I sat. Cleaned the blood away. Matteo's eyes held pride. Dessert was tiramisu. One bite and I knew. Bitter under the sweetness. Poison. I looked up. Caught Isabella's eyes. She was waiting. Not enough to kill. Just enough to humiliate. I had two choices. Spit it out and look weak, or swallow and suffer. I swallowed. Took another bite. Finished it. Isabella's smile faded. You don't like yours? I asked sweetly. You haven't touched it. 10 minutes later, my stomach cramped. 20 minutes. I was sweating, but I didn't leave. Didn't excuse myself. Just sat there smiling while my insides twisted. The Russian woman leaned over. You're strong. Most girls Isabella poisons run crying. You just sit here and take it. Impressive. Finally, dinner ended. Rossi stood. Pamela. A word. Just us in his study. You did well tonight. Better than expected. Thank you. But understand something. Matteo is important. To both families. To peace. If you're with him, you're a target. For his enemies. For people like Isabella. For anyone who wants to hurt him. I know. Do you? This isn't a romance. This is real danger. I understand, and I'm staying anyway. He studied me. Then nodded. Good. Because he needs you. More than he'll admit. He poured whiskey. To your health, and your courage. We drank. As I left his study, I heard voices. Isabella, don't care what father says, she needs to disappear, permanently. A man's voice. One I recognized. And Matteo? We'll get over it. He always does. I pressed against the wall. When? The man asked. Tomorrow. The charity gala. Public place. Easy to make it look like an accident. My blood froze. The man laughed. I knew that laugh. Victor. Matteo's second in command was the traitor. I made it to the car without vomiting. Matteo took one look at me. What did she give you? Isabella poisoned dessert, but we have bigger problems. I grabbed his arm. Victor. It's Victor. What about him? He's the traitor. Working with Isabella. They're planning to kill me tomorrow at the gala. Matteo went still. You're certain? I heard them. Planning it. The drive back was silent. Matteo's jaw tight. Hands clenched. At the estate? He went straight to Victor's quarters. Kicked down the door. Victor was on the phone. Saw Matteo's expression and ran. Didn't make it 3 steps. Matteo had him pinned. Gun to his head. Give me one reason not to kill you right now. Victor's eyes were wide. Boss, I can explain. You were with Isabella. Planning to kill Pamela. I can. Yes or no? Were you planning to betray me? Silence. Then, yes. The word hung like a death sentence. Why? Because you were weak. Because you put a woman above the organization. I was trying to save you from yourself. By killing the woman I love. By removing the problem before it got worse. Matteo's finger tightened on the trigger. Wait, I said. Both men looked at me. Don't kill him yet. We need information. How many others are involved? Matteo smiled cruelly. The angel has a point. They took Victor to the basement. The interrogation was brutal. Victor held out. But pain broke him eventually. The conspiracy was bigger. Isabella was the ringleader. 3 of Rossi's captains. 2 of Matteo's men. Someone in the Russian Bratva. The goal. Kill me. Frame it as accident. Force Matteo to marry Isabella to prevent war. And if he refused? Matteo asked. Then he'd be removed too. New leadership. So this was a coup. This was business. Matteo's knife flashed. Victor screamed. All the names. Everyone involved. 60 seconds. Victor talked. 15 people wanted us dead. What do we do? I asked later. We move first. At the gala tomorrow, we spring our own trap. That's suicide. No, that's war. And I always win. The plan. Go to the gala. Let Isabella think everything was proceeding, but have our own people positioned. Loyal people. When Isabella made her move, we'd make ours. You're the bait, Matteo said. I hate it. I know. I trust you. The gala was at the Metropolitan Museum. 500 guests. Perfect for assassination. I wore white. Virginal. Matteo wore black. Lethal. Isabella was there in red. She smiled when she saw us. Pamela, you came. Wouldn't miss it. Good. It would be a shame to waste such a perfect evening. It happened at midnight. Isabella suggested we step onto the balcony. Just us girls. Matteo's eyes met mine. I nodded. I followed her out. The balcony overlooked the sculpture garden. Beautiful. Isolated. Perfect for murder. I almost admire you, Isabella said. Taking what you want. I could say the same. Could you? She turned, pulled a gun. I was raised for this. Trained for it. Then you just walk in and take it all. I didn't take anything. He chose me. He chose pussy. Once he gets bored, he won't. Let's test that. She gestured to the balcony edge. Tragic accident. Too much champagne. Loses her balance. Matteo grieves. Eventually marries me, except I'm not falling. Aren't you? 2 men appeared from shadows. Before they could move, shots rang out. Both dropped. Alexei and Dmitri emerged, guns smoking. Isabella's eyes widened. What? Did you think we didn't know? I said softly. Victor told us everything. The door opened. Matteo with Antonio Rossi. Daughter, Rossi said heavily. What have you done? Isabella's composure cracked. Father, I was protecting our family. By murdering an innocent woman? By betraying our allies? By plotting a coup? She doesn't belong in our world. She belongs with Matteo. That's all that matters. Rossi's expression was stone. You've dishonored our family. Broken sacred laws. You're no longer my daughter. No, you can't. Security will escort you to a convent in Sicily. You'll stay there, forever. I'd rather die. That can be arranged, Matteo said coldly. Isabella looked at us. Saw no mercy. She chose the convent. As they took her away, she screamed. This isn't over. There are others. You'll never be safe. And I knew she was right. The conspiracy was bigger than Isabella. The real threat was still out there. The next 72 hours were the bloodiest of my life. Matteo moved against the conspirators with surgical precision. The 3 Italian captains, found in the Hudson. The Russian Bratva members, disappeared. Victor, last to die. Matteo did it himself. I watched because I needed to understand what he was. He put a bullet in Victor's head without hesitation. Then came home and held me while I cried for a traitor who'd tried to kill me. Why are you crying? He asked. Because he was your friend. And he betrayed you because of me. He betrayed me because he was weak. That's on him, not you. His hands framed my face. You woke me up, Angelo. In every way. I love you. Even the dark parts. Good. Because I'm never letting you go. 6 months later, life found rhythm. I ran medical operations for Matteo's organization. Patched injuries, saved lives, sometimes took them when necessary. The good girl who walked into the wrong room was gone. In her place, someone harder, darker, dangerous, but also loved, protected, seen. Darius graduated, valedictorian. Never mentioned his sister's boyfriend was a crime lord. Anya recovered. Became my best friend. Taught me Russian curse words. Rossi accepted me officially. With ceremony. I was Cosa Nostra now. The Russian Bratva took longer. But when I saved one of their capos emergency surgery on a dining table with a steak knife and vodka, they accepted me too. The angel, they called me. Santoro's angel. I wore it like armor. It happened 6 months to the day. Matteo took me back to the hospital. To room 412. Why are we here? Because this is where it started. Where you saved my life. Where I decided you were mine. He got on one knee. I'm not a good man, Pamela. I never will be. I've killed. I'll kill again. I live in darkness. He pulled out a ring. Black diamond. But you walked into that darkness and brought light. You held my hand when I was dying. You chose me when you should have run. Tears streamed down my face. Marry me, Angelo. Not for politics, but because I love you. Because you're the only real thing in my life. Yes, I said. Didn't hesitate. Yes. He slid the ring on. Kissed me like I was oxygen. Mine, he whispered. Yours, I agreed. Forever. 3 months later, we stood in the cathedral preparing for the wedding. My dress was white silk and lace. Perfect. beautiful, everything I'd never let myself dream about. Darius stood with me in the bride's room. You sure about this? More sure than anything. Then I'm happy for you, sis. He hugged me. Even if your husband terrifies me, I laughed. He terrifies me too sometimes. Anya was there, fussing with my veil. You look beautiful, like a real bride, not like someone who performs surgery with steak knives. I contain multitudes, I said. A knock on the door. One of Matteo's men. 5 minutes, Mrs. Santoro. Mrs. Santoro. I'd be Mrs. Santoro in 5 minutes. My heart raced, not with fear, with joy. Let's do this, I said. Darius took my arm. We walked toward the cathedral doors. I could hear the music starting, could hear the guests rising. 300 people. Bratva, Cosa Nostra, united for this moment. The doors opened. I saw Matteo at the altar. Black suit. Perfect. Dangerous. Beautiful. His eyes found mine. And everything else disappeared. I started walking down the aisle. Each step bringing me closer to him. To my future. To forever. He was smiling. Actually smiling. Like I was the only good thing in his dark world. I was halfway down the aisle when I heard it. A sound that didn't belong. A hiss. Like compressed air releasing. Then the windows exploded. Smoke grenades crashed through the stained glass, flooding the cathedral with thick gray smoke. Screams erupted. Gunfire. Chaos. Pamela! Matteo's voice through the smoke. Get down! I dropped, my dress tangling around me. Hands grabbed me from behind. Not Darius. Not Matteo's men. Rough hands. Unfamiliar. A cloth pressed over my mouth and nose. Chemical smell. Sweet and sickening. Chloroform. No. 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 I tried to fight. Tried to scream. But my limbs were already going numb. Matteo! I managed one scream before the cloth pressed harder. The last thing I heard was his voice. Desperate. Furious. Terrified. Angelo. No. Then darkness swallowed me whole. I woke to the smell of mold and blood. My head pounded. My mouth tasted like chemicals. My hands were zip-tied behind my back. I was in a chair. Concrete room. One bare bulb hanging from the ceiling. Not the cathedral. Not my wedding. Kidnapped. On my wedding day, my dress was torn. Dirty. The veil was gone. Ah. The angel wakes. I looked up. A man stepped out of the shadows. Older. 60s. Expensive suit that didn't hide the violence underneath. Russian accent. But different from Matteo's people. Harsher. Colder. Who are you? My voice came out hoarse. Dmitry Volkov. Konstantin's father. His smile was cruel. You killed my son. Well, Santoro killed my son. But you were the reason. The weakness he exploited. Ice flooded my veins. Where am I? Somewhere Santoro will never find you. Somewhere I can take my time. He circled me slowly. Predator with prey. Do you know what it's like to lose a son? To have everything you built, everything you planned, destroyed by one man's obsession with a woman? I didn't. You walked into the wrong room. You woke him up. You made him weak. He stopped in front of me. And weakness in our world is death. Matteo will find me. Will he? Dmitry pulled out his phone. Showed me a photo. The cathedral. Bodies on the floor. Blood on the white marble. 17 dead. 23 wounded. Including your brother. My world stopped. No. Darius. Alive. For now. In surgery. Critical condition. He smiled. Funny how weddings can turn into funerals so quickly. Tears streamed down my face. If he dies, then you'll know how I feel. He put the phone away. But don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. Not yet. First, I'm going to break you, piece by piece. Until there's nothing left of the angel Santoro loves. Then I'll send what's left back to him, and watch him destroy himself with grief. He'll kill you for this. He'll try. But he doesn't know where you are. Doesn't know who took you. All he knows is that his bride vanished during the wedding. Poof. Gone. Like you never existed. He walked to the door. Paused. Your wedding night was supposed to be special. Romantic. Instead, you'll spend it here. Alone. In the dark. Wondering if Santoro will find you before I decide you've suffered enough. The door slammed shut. Locked. I was alone in the darkness. In my ruined wedding dress. With my brother in critical condition. And Matteo somewhere out there, thinking he'd lost me. I pulled against the zip ties. They cut into my wrists. Blood welled up. I didn't care. I had to get out. Had to get back to him. Had to survive this. But as hours passed and no one came, I started to wonder, what if Dimitri was right? What if Matteo couldn't find me? What if this was how it ended, not with a wedding, but with darkness and blood and the angel falling from grace? I thought about the night I walked into room 412, how one mistake had changed everything, how I'd fallen in love with a monster, how I'd become dangerous myself, how I'd chosen this life, knowing it could destroy me. And now it was. Matteo, I whispered into the darkness. Please find me. Please don't let him break me. Please. The door opened. But it wasn't Dimitri. It was someone I recognized from the wedding. One of the guests. Someone who'd smiled at me. Congratulated me. Someone I'd trusted. They stepped into the room with a syringe. I'm sorry, they said. But this is going to hurt. The needle pierced my skin. Fire spread through my veins. I screamed. And the last thought I had before the pain consumed me was, I was wrong. Monsters aren't the ones who kill you quickly. They're the ones who make you wish they would. What do you think happened next? And if you enjoyed the story, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and stay tuned for more dark romance as intriguing as this one.